Hey there, welcome to Find Your Sun. I'm Cass.
And I'm Mare.
Join us as we find our sun through movement, nourishment, and well-being.
Awakened through the power of play. Let's dive in.
Welcome back, Sunseeker. We are so excited to have you today. We are going to do another coffee chat where Mare and I just have a free flow conversation. We talk about things that are inspiring us and hopefully that in turn inspire you too. Mm-hmm. So, Meredith, what has been inspiring you lately? What is it that's going on? How does life feel? Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Sure. Hi, Sunseekers. It's nice to join you again today. And, to answer your question, I think I've just really been very intentional lately. I feel like I'm very attuned to routine and finding that discipline is very rewarding and very inspiring right now because I'm allotting it that time to be intentional. So I feel like that's kind of good. Like what's been really bringing me a lot of joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think we touched on that last week a little bit about how when you set these time blocks in your calendar, it just allows more time for you to have other things that you want to do in your more free time, I guess.
And I guess 2 weeks ago, I thought that I was being very intentional. I thought that I was being intentional then, but then I ordered this book from Intelligent Change. It's a productivity planner, and it's been guiding me through becoming even more productive, like very intentional. And then it's just given me a lot of like really, really great nuggets.
Where did you hear about it?
Instagram,
Okay.
pinpointed me and started sending me these advertisements, and I just kept getting them over and over again. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like how they say like intelligent change. And one evening I just saw the advertisement again, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll just get it. I think I want to try something different this year because we talked so much about gratitude that I wanted to really shift and use my planner, like have prompts. Like I wanted it to prompt me to ask me like, what am I grateful for? And so I've used Moleskine now for 10 years. And I've literally collected them, and I love my Moleskines because they're my favorite planners. But Moleskine like leaves up this world of possibility.
Sure.
So it's just so much like free space where this productivity planner is very intentional.
Okay.
So it starts off with, what am I grateful for today?
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that.
I actually want to share it with you because it's...
Yeah, I want to see this because and look at
brought
this.
It over here.
It is so, if you're on video with us, it is so beautiful. Look at that.
It's so inspiring, and it's very, very meticulously designed and thoughtfully created. So productivity planner.
Hold on.
Okay, so if found, please contact me, Meredith Dunning, and then my reward is gratitude.
Oh,
instead of money.
Oh
they
my
want you to put like a dollar sign or something there. No, I'm going to be really appreciative if you find this. Okay, so and then it's dedicated to lifelong learners and doers. You're changing the world every day.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it just dives into, you will gain a sense of accomplishment. It's easy to use. You will get in the flow. You will be inspired, and you will improve daily.
That's what we're always striving for, I feel like.
And then this concept. So then it introduces this concept of focus time sessions, which are just 30-minute periods where you concentrate on a single task. And then at the end of that 30-minute period, you take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
So I think if we have an Apple Watch, or this is like, I don't know if it's getting too meticulous, but
sure.
I think in those time blocks where you have time to do work, like from 8 to 5, like if you're a professional, Then you have those time blocks where you can say, okay, I have 30 minutes and this is the only task that I can work on. I need to shut off my phone. I need to turn it on airplane mode. And once I turn it on airplane mode, I have no distractions. And then also make sure to like grab your water or coffee or tea and to set up your station so that you're ready, like use the restroom, like make sure that you have like zero distractions.
Oh, is that kind of how it tells you to go about it? Okay.
And then it introduces a legendary to-do list tell from Charles M. Schwab, who is a successful steel magnate. And he was on this search because he wanted, like his staff was lacking productivity. And so he promised to reward the person who increased productivity for Bethlehem Steel. And so he found Ivy Lee. Okay. And Ivy Lee really changed everything for him. So the singular piece of advice. And so she came up with this every evening before finishing work. So write down 3 to 5 things that you plan to get done the next day.
Okay.
Then rank them from highest to lowest in priority. And then in the morning, start working on the task of highest priority first. And then only move on to task number 2 when you've completed task number 1.
Okay.
And then, because if you do just that, then you will be more productive than...
No way.
Like,
and
what
you
is
know
it,
what?
90%?
You know what I love about that is that it is
90% of the population.
Wow, it's simplifying.
So totally.
That's so simple.
So easy.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't have to make it complicated. And I think sometimes it can get overcomplicated. And so you would do that is that just for work then?
No, it's for anything that okay, so like let's say that you have something that's burning in your mind that you know that you need to get it done and you need to get the hardest thing done first. Like if there's something that just keeps sitting there that you haven't finished, put that thing down as your very first priority. Like I will be happy at the end of the day if I complete this task. Like it is that important. Like taking the 13 baby or the 8, how many hamsters? I had them on my mind and they like were just such a stress for me, like legit. And that was the only thing on my to-do list yesterday that if I got that taken care of, if I got donating them back to the pet store, then I was going to be able to let that go. Yeah. So like just intentional. I know that's a really random example.
So, but now you guys have one hamster, right?
Well, we kept one of the babies.
You kept one of the babies. Okay.
A male, so that we don't have the same problem. And I'm really kind of going back and forth, but we got them like really cool, like engaging cages. So like cool. enriching cages. Like they're super fun and like they're just really excited and they're like running in their will.
Oh, that's
keep
great.
Revisiting hamsters.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
But why is it important? And I think that, okay, so when I'm going in here to 2, it also wants you to track your habits. And if we can intentionally set habits that we want to improve, then we track them, then we'll know, oh, okay, I've been successful at completing this habit now for 31 days. Yeah. So,
and that really makes it more transparent, or you're able to look at it. Whereas I think I've read books like Atomic Habits and stuff, and like you want to improve your habits, and like you're thinking about it for a little while, but then eventually it's not top of mind anymore. Yeah, and
maybe
then,
like 2 weeks in, right?
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I let that slip, like because I was tracking all my stuff in my notes. Yep, and like over the last, I guess, 4 to 7 after the holidays. Holidays are crazy. Like holidays like knock us off track.
They really do.
We're with our family, but in a good way. Like it's a great time to just disconnect from all the expectation and just really be present with your family. And I want to dive into that too with you after we finish this. Let's wrap this productivity planner up, because I just want to share this one more time. And this is definitely not like I'm not being paid for any of this. This is just because it makes my brain feel good. So I want to help. I want to help make your brain feel good too.
Have you used it to track habits yet?
Yes.
So what kind of
let me
habits?
tell you my habits.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
let me know your habits.
Okay, so I have 10 total habits that I'm practicing. So number 1 is daily gratitude practice, and I need to write down 3 before I start my day.
Okay.
Number 2, intention setting. Number 3, morning movement, and I've been walking 60 minutes every day.
Good job.
You even get my updates, right?
I have. I'm like, wow, she's
my
walking.
watch?
She's walking a lot.
And then mindful holiday planning to make sure that the holidays are really full with the kids and like throughout the whole month. And then hydration check. So making sure that I'm getting an 8 to 10 glasses of water. Digital detox hours. So like actually turning my phone off and like not paying attention, not receiving anything, just being present.
Smart.
An act of kindness. So doing something kind for someone else. And an end of year reflection, because we're ending 2024 and it's a really pivotal time, like when you're looking at the close of a year and the beginning of a new one. It's a time to reflect.
And I feel like that's hard for our generation and people just in general, just to sit down and reflect, because we're always trying to move forward into the future and trying to change the future in some way. And I mean, at least for me, I don't think I've spent a lot of time reflecting on like my whole year. Yeah, like I've reflected on, certain days or whatever. But yeah, just to reflect on the whole year, that's a really smart, especially with the end of the year coming up.
I think that it's really powerful. Like a lot of the times we focus on like the beginning of the year, right? Like you're talking about like that future planning.
Yes.
We think about like all of our intentions for 2025 without really having that like sense of reflection for everything that you accomplished in 2024.
Having that gratitude for the accomplishments, then also having the lessons learned, discovering the lessons learned. And I've really, I think that's really important to recognize areas where you maybe didn't do so well.
Yeah.
And why that happened and how it can be a little bit better in the future. And like not having any sort of feeling about it, like kind of just making note and being like, okay, that's okay. I'm not perfect, but this is how I can get better.
Exactly. And then also taking that time for the things that you did really well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
having gratitude for that piece as well.
I think it's really important. And, I'm 38 years into this life, and I think I'm just now starting to really feel like I can sit in some of these realizations. Like I've been practicing some of them for probably since 2018, maybe 2017. Like very like intentional, like manifestation and just focusing on where I want to be.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm like even deeper into the practice. And I love it. Like it's exciting for me. And then number 9, light-based evening ritual, and then celebrating imperfection. Okay, so
that's a big one,
right? It's so big. I think that perfection is overrated, and this book says perfection is overrated, and it is 100% accurate. And I think that for a lot of us, I'm going to speak for myself right now, but I think for a lot of us, like we have this idea, we have our own perceived idea of what perfection is, what we think like, oh, if I just do this, then everything will be perfect. Or if I just do that, then, oh, okay, it'll be perfect then. And we keep striving for that, where there's more action.
I was just going to say action.
Right? There's more action when we say, it's okay if it's not what I imagine it to be perfect. Like it's evolving. And evolving is like this freedom, this flow, this fluidity that allows us to really understand who we are on a deeper level and accept who we are.
Exactly. And right? I feel that and resonate with that deeply. And I was just I listen to podcasts all the time, and I'll
She does.
probably say that again and again and again. But because that's my time when I'm driving. But how each of our imperfections and then our strengths are unique, and we're not meant to be good at everything. We are not, because somebody that's good at a task that we're not good at is meant to be good at that task, and we're just not meant to do that. That's not who we were called to be.
It's not your cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
It's not your cog in the wheel. Like, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And I think like as I've been getting older, I'm 30 now, I've started to realize like what really lights me up. And I think when I was younger, I always fell in line with what I was supposed to do. And now I'm really just feeling out like, oh, this is what I like. This is what I really like to do. And finding myself in a way.
Yeah.
And being unapologetic about how I feel about certain situations. Because when I find myself not honoring what I want and not being who I am.
Yeah.
My imperfect self, then it creates this like friction.
Yeah.
And that sometimes turns up as anxiety, you know, and just it goes back to just being cool with who you are.
Yeah.
And
just
listening to yourself and honoring yourself, you know, and how you feel about things and your emotions.
I think that's one of the most valuable things that we can do as a human, because we are human. Like at the end of the day, like it's just like we wake up, we have this chance to live every single day. And I just want to do the things that make me feel alive.
Same.
You know?
The more that you can listen to that authentic self, the further you're going to evolve.
Yeah. Or the further that you're just going to be able to be, I don't know if the word is
just
like
present.
It's not like happy. It's like content. It's like just this that harmony,
peace,
harmonious. Like you are living in harmony with yourself and with nature and with the world around you.
And reaching for that in a way. Yeah.
That's like the ultimate knowledge. Okay. Let's see. Look at the. I just want to go over what I ask you to list out, because I think this has been the most powerful.
What the planner asks you to list out.
Yeah. So the planner. Then if I go to Monday. One of the most powerful things that I found is that I have this section where I can write my notes, where I'm essentially journaling every day. But then it's at the very top of the journaling section, it has a quote to help you focus on something for that day, like when you're setting your intentions. So if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. This is Jim Rohn. And so you have this like comprehensive, like today I'm grateful for, intention for the day, most important task, secondary task of importance, additional task, and then highlight of the day. What did I learn today? And what do I want to remember? So it's just this like really beautiful place where I can journal about the things that I'm learning and the way that I feel. Oh, Harper helped clean out the hamster cage with all the so like all of these like special, Mari and I went to World Market to buy memories and just like these little moments. And I think that it's a really powerful thing that I'm excited to take into 2025.
Yeah, that makes me want to look into that. And I also want to mention, because you got one other product too from them. You got the cards, right?
Yeah, and I got that that came as like a complimentary gift.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I also got these affirmation cards, and I placed them in the middle of our kitchen. And what you do is you pull out one of the affirmation cards and you leave it for the entire week, so that you're consciously reprogramming your mind to feel whatever the affirmation is. And what you notice is every time you walk into your kitchen, you read it. So you're constantly feeling that I am.
And what was it? What was it today?
I am enough, and I will always be enough.
I felt that today. I walked into her kitchen and I was like, oh, that card feels good.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, and just this like constant reminder of how one we are. Like it's...
And how great does that tie into what we were just saying?
I love it. Yeah.
About imperfection and being enough.
I am enough.
And I think I know a lot of our audience are mothers, and I think that we're always told like what and how to be and what we should do. And just remember that. Like, remember you are enough. You're enough for your kids. You're enough as a wife. You're enough
as a friend.
Yeah, just be who you are, and people are gonna love on that.
I agree. Okay, so then I have my trigger point therapy.
Can I just look at something really quick?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that, like, I'm just being weird. And
Hey.
anal. I just want to make sure
Yep.
that the audio's on. Okay, it's on.
Okay.
I was just like worried about it for some reason. I was like, I need to get it off my chest.
No, I'm glad you did, because hey, guys, we just had to get that off our chest. No big deal. Like, it's not perfect. Like, nothing is perfect. And when we come here and sit on this couch, like, I feel like we've even been on a journey, Cassie. It's almost been 1 year since we made this decision to even try this. And here we are, like, we have a studio set up. We have a website. We have a place where if we mention a product, you can go check out our products online, like, or the books that we're loving to read. We have an Instagram that we started. You know, we have all of these things that, like, we've been able to accomplish this past year, and to be able to sit on this couch right now and like have this coffee conversation with you here after we put in all of that work, like, that is really powerful. You know, like, we've written up so many lists.
I'm glad that you kind of made that a point to appreciate that, because that is going back and reflecting on how much we've done, and it has been a lot. And we're lucky to be able to sit here now, and it just like flows, you know, whereas like we had to put in a lot of work before to make this happen. And
we didn't really know what we wanted. We thought that, okay, we can pursue this right now, but we can still be there for our families. But we've also realized, like, throughout this journey that, like, our families really need us in a different way right now. So what we've done is, like, just consolidate everything down into, when you come, like, to my house, to our studio, we just had this opportunity to sit and share and just whatever it is that you've been going through over the last 2 weeks or week. And it's like what real friendship is, you know? And that is, like, if I get to share that with the world, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know? And we get to hopefully become friends and share more with you and with you guys that is listening. And I hope that that's where, like, we can build a community.
Me too. Me too, because this is special. And I think we recognize that and that's why initially we decided to start it.
Yeah. And
to create a community where other women may resonate with us at some level, which is what we hope in the end, is, and then start to cultivate something that is bigger than us.
Yeah.
That's really the goal.
And supportive. I wanted to tell you too, because you mentioned about motherhood, and I went to my trigger point therapy this morning.
Oh yeah.
And I usually, like, don't talk at all. Like, I talk a little bit, but, like, not much at all, like, because that's my time to, like, just kind of relax. And I ended up opening up a little bit towards the end, and we started talking about she had this, like, allergic reaction because she had been building this shelf in her home, and all I knew is that she was allergic to pine dust, like, when I first laid down. And a little after we got into the massage, she started, I asked her a question, and she revealed that she was, like, building her own house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
She's
intense.
building her own house with her dad.
Wow.
So, and I just began to like listen to her and like, wow, I'm like really, really impressed because she's just really connected to her space. And she said, like, I went and looked for homes and I didn't see one that I liked. So I decided I was just going to build one.
Wow.
I'm like,
that's straight baller moves.
straight, like bold.
Yeah.
And courageous and like determined to say like,
Wow.
they didn't have what I want, so I just figured I was going to go build it. And then like she starts revealing some more things to me and I'm like, oh, like do you have a garden? And she's like, oh yeah, like my whole yard
Wow.
is a garden. She starts
Wow.
listing off the orange trees, the dragon fruit, the mango, the pineapples, the thyme, the like everything that she has in her yard. She has abundance.
Wow. And
She
she's
has
built it.
abundance. Yeah, and she's built it. And then she talks about like how she's going to make sure that she plants like on the exterior plants that like deter like catnip so that cats don't come in and eat her plants and stuff. So I'm like just immediately like I'm just inspired and I even like start to feel a tear coming down my face because I think she's just so cool.
Yeah.
And I then start talking to her about her mother. I'm like, oh, can you tell me like a little bit about your mom? And she said, well, the one thing that she did is that she created this safe space for me. And she said she took her to go find a chair and they went and found this chair. And then she created this corner and she put all of these books in the corner and said, this is your space. Whenever you don't feel like talking or whenever you feel like you want to learn something, just come here and sit down with a book and learn. So she created this reading corner for her. And she said she would go out and or she would go and read and then she would spend like time in the woods and she'd come back and her mom would have like this really cool cooler sitting out with ice pops and like wet rags. And she set that out so that she and her friends wouldn't come inside dirty and like mess up the home that she had just cleaned. So that was super smart, right?
Yeah.
And I was
That is
just
smart.
like really inspired. And her dad told her that if she does something that you love, then you will never work a day in your life. And I mean, she is so gifted. And I feel like every time I get to spend time with her, she's giving me something very special, you know?
Oh, that's great. And I think that the fact that she's so rooted is maybe something that attracts you to her in a way is like, and I actually had an experience with that. I just met a mother that's a friend of my son's as well. And she's like, oh yeah, we just like eat off the land basically. Like, and something that I've learned as a nutrition coach is that the nutritional value of plants goes down after it's been several days in the grocery store. So to have fresh fruit and vegetables is really important and is going to probably enhance your longevity, you know, in your lifespan. So I think that's really cool. And I think the fact that we kind of just go back to our roots, you know, that's kind of what that feels like to me. Like just having a corner to read without any distractions, without any TVs or anything, because we're just so inundated with all of it. It's hard to even, like, I'm sure it's hard for our kids to even focus on anything.
Okay, that's another thing that I've been reading too. So I put down the art book, and now I'm into My Magic. And I started listening to My Magic again by Dr. James Doty. And I started listening to it again because Mel Robbins had it on her podcast.
Sure. Okay.
Right? So I was like, oh, let's go revisit that. So I listened to it for the second time and I started taking in some of the information. And he does discuss our connection to our phones and how it affects our brain. But specifically, the phone affects our own sense of self-agency. Self-agency, our ability to choose what we want to happen. So because we have this algorithm that feeds us this information, it's essentially telling us who we are, who we need to be, what we need to do. Like it's this constant like inflow of like, oh, this is what the algorithm wants me to do. Whereas when we have that digital detox, we can turn that off and say, this is what I want to do. We need to be inspired from within. We can get creativity. Like, I love to go there for inspiration.
Right.
But I don't feel like I need to go there.
I mean, I think that you're definitely onto something. I think when we look within ourselves is when that's when creativity is at its highest, and when we're able to like truly be ourselves.
And you can like, okay, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'm going to talk about something because I think it's...
Talk about it.
But when you're in that flow state, and I actually got this book too. I can't pronounce the name yet, but you started talking about this a while ago. Mitsuhali or something.
Oh, Mihaly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to try to remember that, but I just didn't remember it. Yeah. Okay. So that state, like, you can actually feel the effect of the neurochemicals that are being released into your brain. Like, you just feel good when that's happening for you. And I don't think that I feel that very often when I go onto my phone. So I think that and we talk about this a lot, and probably because it's affecting a lot of us. I know that it's really impacting my life and my children's life right now. And so much so that like, I'm like on this new quest for like, wait until 8th grade. And it's like, wait until their brains are completely developed, or not developed, like completely developed, but developed enough that they have the ability to control their impulses. And that is something that they don't have at this young age, but it's hard because everybody in the school has, like, all the kids have them.
Yeah. Okay.
All the kids have phones.
So you're saying wait until 8th grade to have a phone?
Yeah, potentially wait until 8th. Like, that's the new recommendation for research is wait until 8th.
Yep.
And 13 or 8th grade. And that's what the research is supporting.
Yeah.
But we're in a neighborhood where, at least here where we are, like, all the kids have devices.
I'm sure that's a lot of the majority, unless you're like in an Amish community.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it is.
I think that's very common.
Yeah. So how do we do our best to protect them from
that's
big business?
It's really hard. Honestly, I was just listening to a podcast by Good Inside. It's called Good Inside, and she was talking. This psychologist was talking about how phones are affecting our kids, and how it needs to almost be a collective of like parents getting together and like deciding together, because right now the kids are kind of deciding that for the parents in a way, and the parents are just kind of giving in, but like the parents need to gather together as a community and be like, hey, we're not doing this. We're all not going to do this. Yeah. And the more that you guys can agree on that, then the more kids that won't have phones and won't feel like they're left out, because the other kids, this other kid doesn't have one either. You know, like they're in the same boat.
They won't feel like they're singled out and removed from connecting.
Yeah, because like connect at school, you know, connect outside.
This is so funny. So connecting, I went home for Thanksgiving. Yeah, and I was going through my boxes that my mom had packed for me to go through, and in one of the boxes, I pulled out this wooden box where I kept all of my notes. Oh yeah. All the notes that we exchanged. Like school notes? No. Like all of the notes that like we would exchange with our friends.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like notes that you would pass back and forth in school.
We would pass school notes back. And like I had a whole box full of them. And so I'm like, hey, Harper, hey, Oliver, come over here. I want you to see what my text messages look like.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And we sat and we read them and we had so much fun. And Oliver was like cracking up at the end of it. He's like, Mom, you actually sound kind of like a bop. And I'm like, what?
What's a bop?
A bop. That I liked a lot of boys.
That you liked a lot of boys? That's what a bop is?
A bop is that you had a lot of like boyfriends.
Oh, you bopped around.
But I didn't really have a lot of boyfriends though. That's not true. Like it's not actually characteristic. I didn't actually have
but as a little girl, like that's what you talk about.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You like them all.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that guy looks cute. I remember like that happened to me very early. Like I think I was in kindergarten and I had my first crush and I was like, oh, I want to sit by him. You know?
Totally had my first crush in kindergarten too, and I had my same like I liked him forever.
Yeah, for real. Like, you don't move on from that.
No,
Your first.
He's like entrenched in my brain.
I still remember his name too.
I bet you do, and his last name, and where he lived, and his phone number, and yeah.
Okay, it's getting a little creepy now. No.
Is it creepy?
I'm just
like 4235433.
Oh wow!
But I got
That's funny.
So for the holidays for me, for Thanksgiving, because we haven't gotten to talk since Thanksgiving, but I went home to visit my family or my mom, and she's in the process of like a really big shift right now, and which in turn we all are in a process of this big shift happening, and she's moving from our family home of many, many years. And so just going back through that stuff and sitting there with it and just realizing like how loved, like, and how blessed and like how much fun I had as a kid, I just was like really in awe of
all that your mom did for you guys.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what sparked you? Because you said you were really focusing on family lately. Is that kind of like what sparked it a little bit, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, you know, family and home stability are like my top priority right now, like my top focus. And just knowing that like my children are going through these teenage years where you're giving them more space, but you're also they really need you still.
Yeah.
You know,
they do.
Like we think that like our like when they turn 3 or when they're 6 months old, like no matter what age you begin childcare, we think that they're like ready for it. And I feel like so much so right now, like I'm realizing that my children, my older children are really needing me in a different sense right now. Like it's support. Like we had a winter concert last night and we got like a message 2 or 3 days ago that they had to have a winter attire outfit for the concert. And like all of the parents were like, hold on, like we just got notice of this.
Oh my God.
So it was like last minute, but those little like messages that when I showed up, I had Oliver's new outfit for him, and I just felt so like happy seeing him like walk out in it and feeling like that I was there for him, you know? And I need to have more moments like that.
I get that.
And science fair projects are coming up. Oh my gosh. And when you start science fair projects, oh my goodness, that's going to really take a lot of your time.
Well, and it's hard too because we're all on our different paths in life, and sometimes it's easy to forget about those things, you know? I don't know about you, but yeah, I think it's like hard to balance that sometimes, and that's why you have to like consciously, like you made it a habit that you want to ingrain, because it is easy to get wrapped up in your own world.
And I'll say this too. So like my husband and I very intentionally made the decision in 2017 that I was going to be our homemaker. Like I get to make our home. And I get to take care of this space, and I get to feed our family and be present with our children as they're growing up, because his position just required a lot more time and effort. And I knew that I wanted to be there because I didn't have any support when we were living in Hawaii. So I knew that if I wasn't there, then they weren't going to have that constant in their life. And I wanted to be able to provide that constant in their life. How far? Okay. That constant for them. And I feel like, and I had gone back to work, and I just felt like at one point prior to that, and what I noticed whenever I made this decision is that all of a sudden, like, the energy just kind of like flowed down the river. Like, it was just so much easier because we were aligned with our visions. Our kids were cared for. Our home life was organized. Like, everything was just flowing so seamlessly. And I realized, like, when and for many years I've been focused on that primarily. And I think for a minute, like, we were working so hard. Like, you and I had been putting in so much work. We were putting in 8-hour days, and I was missing that sense of, like, support. And my husband travels a lot. So in order to, like, be present for them, like, I felt like I was kind of being pulled in so many directions, and my brain wasn't very, like, focused, and I was overstressed. And so I feel like that intention is coming back into me right now, where I remember what it was like to go on hiking Tuesday and, like, you know, walk them to the library and pick out a new book, or walk them to school and pick them up, and, like, just all these, like, little things, that micro moments that, like, make life really special. Those are the moments that I was missing, and they are so important to me. And I also get to support my husband in, like, a different way. Like, I love my husband so much. And I'm just really, like, really proud of him, and really grateful for all the hard work that he puts in to provide for our family. And he's just, like, this constant dreamer. Like, he just has, like, a vision, and then, like, he can just execute it. He's, like, really, really good at it. So I'm glad that I can help him build, you know? And then, like, I want to protect this space with you and me. Like, it's very, very important to me, because this 1 hour, like, if we can just carve this out and, like, come and share, like, these things, this journey that we're going on with our families, and then what you're doing with your business, and, like, these things I think are really powerful, and I think they're stories that are worth sharing.
Me too. And thank you for sharing that.
How many times have I cried today?
I can tell that you, like, something that I love about Meredith is that she feels so deeply and really cares. And I just love that. And, like, I can see the love that you have for your husband and your kids. And it's just really, it brings you to tears. That's how much it lights you up.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So,
me too.
I can't believe I cried so many times.
Do you need a tissue?
No. I guess we do have tissues in there, but no, I can wipe them away. I'm okay. I'm good. But okay. So that whole, like, transitional thing. So tell me about your Thanksgiving. I want to hear, like, what you guys did to set your, like, mood.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Thanksgiving. We were lucky. We just had, not takeout, but we went to a restaurant, and that was really nice. And we got to see some family, and it was just really low key. And I think something that I've brought into my awareness lately is how simple little, like, just being able to be home with my family and not having any plans is, like, the best plans.
Oh yeah.
You know? And saying no more, and just being alone sometimes. And it's just more valuable to me now than it ever has been. You know, having those moments of stillness, and those moments of just being with our immediate family. So yeah, and then I've been going through a lot of transitions also with my career and everything, and just starting a new job. And I interviewed a couple times, and I think I just wanted to share my experience with that.
Yeah.
It's just shifting a little bit of the conversation, but I had worked so hard for this one position, and I was feeling really good about it. I went through, like, two 3 interviews and a case study for this position. I was feeling really good about it, and I was like hyped up. Like I was like, after my last interview, I was like, I think I got this. Like I thought it went really well. And I was honestly like, I was just over the moon. I thought I had already gotten it. Like I didn't let my brain go to a place where I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And so then when I got an email back saying that I was not accepted, like they didn't accept me to the position, it just like, it felt like a slap in the face at first. And it stung, you know, like it brought me to tears, and I was really bummed about it. But, honestly, I think it's going to, like, I have another job set up, so it's not like it's the end of the world, you know, and I got to experience interviewing again because, you know, it's been a while since I've interviewed. I interviewed for a couple other jobs too, but, this is the one that I wanted the most.
They missed out on getting Cassie. That's 100%.
I mean, I'm very biased.
Very biased. I am 100% biased. Like, you guys missed out. You missed out on a gem.
I could have been really great, I think.
I hope you guys see this someday. And now you know that you missed out.
Because I was really, like, when you
talented.
get somebody that's so passionate. I'm very passionate about this company specifically, and I've been a client of theirs, personal training client for 2 years now, and I don't get passionate about things like that. And I was, and so, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I think something that I've learned from it is that, failure is okay, and failure is good, in fact, because now it's just really motivated me to be even better.
Hold on. Failure, though. So what if it's maybe not even failure? Maybe it's just redirection.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily think you failed at anything.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't fail.
Well, and it's also, honestly set me on you're right. It set me on a new direction, because now I'm working to gain the experience that they said that I needed. And also, maybe start looking into schooling, you know? So we'll see.
Or you put in this time and then you apply again.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, she's ready now.
Yeah. I mean, they encourage me to do that too. And I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to put that out there, because I know that other people might be experiencing failure as well. And maybe not failure. I don't know how you could,
I think
rephrase that.
I think you could rethink it as, because I don't necessarily think you failed. Like, you gave it your best. You
with the tools that I had.
Yeah, you did, and you went very far along in the process, and
and I should be proud of that too, and see that as a win.
And you could have gotten an immediate, so you were almost there.
Yeah.
So, and then the feedback is just get a little bit more, and then you're going to be there.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not necessarily failure. It's just don't stop. Just don't
stop. Yeah. Don't let that.
Don't stop.
Don't let that thing stop you from pursuing what you want.
Don't stop. And we just keep talking about if we just keep stacking, all Cassie and I just keep stacking.
Yeah.
You know? And so as long as you just keep stacking and keep getting that experience, you're going to be there where you want to be before you know it. And then all of a sudden you'll be looking back and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't need to worry so much. I was already on the path.
Oh, and when I was getting ready for these interviews too, that's a whole, you just get into your head. Interviews, they're great, but they suck at the same time, you know? And
writing down everything. What'd you do to prepare?
Well, I did use ChatGPT to so I asked her to pose questions that she thought that they would ask me, and then I would answer them, and then she would refine them a little bit, and then I also had her do a mock interview for me. So I had her ask questions, and then I would answer them based on my knowledge. And so that was really powerful.
She totally prompted you. And, So you were, Yeah, you guys missed
I did
out.
a lot of prep.
You guys missed out. Just wait until she's ready. Just wait until she's ready. Oh, she could have made you so
thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So,
just
I mean,
keep working.
Yeah. Just keep
stacking.
going. I think that's that's the message. And I mean, to wrap things up.
Hold on. You did something fun too. I don't want to finish talking.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You went somewhere really fun.
Yes. I took my family and I, after Thanksgiving, we decided to do an impromptu trip to Disney World. We had not taken the kids yet. Yeah, we had not taken the kids yet. My girl, she is 4, and then my boy is 5.5, almost 6. So they had an absolute blast. So we got in we have an RV. We got in the RV. We went to Fort Wilderness.
What?
Yeah. So Fort Wilderness. Oh my God. It's so funny too, because these people will go to Fort Wilderness, Disney, and they'll put up all these lights. Like they're going to stay there for like months.
I don't even know what Fort Wilderness is.
It's just like a campsite, but then they have like.
Is it for Disney?
Yeah, it's at Disney.
Oh, how cool.
It's a Disney campsite. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And people set up.
Yeah, they have some people have tents, some people have RVs, and there will be like huge families that come together there. What? And then they have a lodge where you can go get food and stuff. And then they have like, I think it's like a performance area where you can go and see shows. And then they have a campfire sing-along where the kids can go and roast marshmallows and sing with Chip and Dale. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then
hold on. I want to go in the RV with you someday.
Yeah, you guys, we should do it. We should do it as a family.
Gosh.
That would be so much fun.
Oh, and when my mom comes, maybe we can all go in the RV, or I mean, maybe my mom can get an RV and then we can go with you guys.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
Fort
and then there's ponies.
Okay. What?
There's ponies at Fort Wilderness. So the kids got to both ride on ponies, and oh my gosh, the horses there are just beautiful. They are so pretty.
Really? Like really well kept, I bet.
Pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so we did that.
Excited.
We did that for the morning, and then you take a boat over to Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
So we took a boat over to Magic Kingdom. We did a bunch of rides. The kids they were into the rides. They loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to wait a little bit because we wanted them to enjoy the rides and enjoy the experience, and like they got the bubbles too. The bubbles are like a big thing.
Oh, so cool.
I saw you have them. Violet got the same one.
I bet the girls are talking about
bubble machine. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, did you see any princesses?
Did we see any princesses?
Get their
No, we actually saw Cinderella's evil sisters, but that's about it. But we went to, everything just clicked. It was great because our second morning, we went to Epcot and we went to the Garden Grill. We went to the Soarin' ride, and the Soarin' ride is our favorite. We really love the Soarin' ride. Have you been to Epcot yet?
Yes.
Have you gone on that ride?
Tell me which one the Soarin' is.
Oh my God, you would remember it.
Well, what does it do? I would remember. I just don't remember the name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you feel like you're in a plane going over the...
It's so cool.
Yeah, going over the mountains and the ocean, and yeah.
It's really cool. It like lifts you up and it makes it feel like you're like flying.
You're literally going on a tour of the world.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. New Zealand, when you fly over New Zealand. And,
Oh, yeah.
The pyramids. And then they like drop down. Oh, yeah. It's so fun.
Yeah. It feels like you're flying.
Yeah.
It's so cool. That was a huge highlight.
Oh, and all the food.
Yeah.
All the food. So Epcot is really like centered around different cultures. So you have, you can go to France.
We didn't end up getting to go there, go down the boardwalk at all.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because,
next time.
Because we were just focused on the rides, but yeah. And then we went to the Garden Grill and we saw a bunch of characters. There was a character breakfast there. So we just got there. We got to see all the characters. Cool. We got to see Mickey and Pluto and Chip and Dale.
That's so much fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And
the kids like light up, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They
Parents
loved it
do too, I guess. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It really is. Okay, so you did Epcot. Did you just?
We just did the two.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were only there for 2 days. And honestly, it takes like a whole day to get through that part, through the park. So.
I know. We did a full, I think we left at 7 a.m. and then didn't leave the park until after the fireworks at Epcot.
Oh, wow. You guys spent the whole day there.
It was awesome.
Wow.
It was so fun. And then we did Magic Kingdom, and we did leave around dinner time that time that we went. Mm-hmm. I think we were just kind of done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
wanted to relax.
Yeah.
After
cool. That, it's a long day.
Yeah, I was really excited to see that you had gone to.
Yeah, it was my first time at Disney World. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was a fun experience.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was amazing. And being there during Christmas, if you can go there during Christmas, it is
all
cool.
The lights, I bet, are really beautiful. Yeah, I would like to do that, just to drive through and see, maybe not get tickets, but just be present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You could probably do that. You could probably go to Epcot and do that.
I didn't know how much I was going to love being on the outskirts of Orlando. Orlando's so much fun.
Oh yeah, they have so much to do there.
So much to do. And we've really gotten into the Orlando magic.
Oh yeah.
We're watching basketball games all the time.
So much fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, and it's really fun to watch with our older boys because it's enjoyable to watch greatness, and these guys that are playing, some of them are really good,
right?
And they're a young team, so you can just see their potential, and they're winning so many games. So it's just been so much good energy, and
that's awesome,
fun to watch. Mm-hmm. So I really like Orlando.
So if you're in the area, go to Orlando and check out the Orlando Magic or Disney. Yeah.
Have some fun, or come down and visit and let us know you came, so we can come say hi.
Oh yeah. Well, I really want to go on a walk.
Let's go on a walk. Yeah, it's beautiful outside today. It's it's 69 degrees. It's perfect. So let's go on a walk and pick up Mari.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
we appreciate it, and keep finding your light.
Yeah, keep finding your light. Don't stop. Just keep stacking.
Keep stacking. Bye for now.
Just before you go, if you want to sprinkle some love our way without spending a dime, why not hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel? It's like giving us a hug through the internet. So please give that button a little tap and join our Sun family.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found the discussions enlightening and inspiring. Please note that the information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed here are solely our own and do not reflect the views of any sponsors or affiliate partners.
And before you apply any of the health strategies discussed on the podcast, we recommend consulting with a professional to ensure it is appropriate for your specific circumstances.
Remember, we're here to spark conversation and ideas, not substitute for any professional advice.